Today's America is crazy. It makes absolutely no sense what's happening in our country. Honestly, I am currently embarrassed to be an American, being as though my grandfather and my father fought and died for this country. To be able to witness something like this on American soil is humiliating, and honestly, it's not honorable to any veteran, any American, rich or poor, what just happened at the Capitol. So what did we learn from this Capitol building event so far? Well, I do feel like we learned that the Trump supporters feel extremely privileged enough to do what they've done to our government building, including theirs. It's their government building too. It's ridiculous that they would destroy the inside of the structure that the government is currently running on, taking pictures, chilling in the chairs. Man, I mean, I saw guys climbing up the walls. I saw guys climbing down the walls. I seen guys with GoPros and having fun. I seen the police be extremely careful with these Trump supporters. I seen a video where the Trump supporters demanded to get closer, and the police officers and the feds or whoever else was out there, they just kind of released their restraints and let them come closer. I've seen a lot. I've seen Nancy Pelosi's office be disrespected and defiled. She's just a messenger. They calling her the devil. So as an average American with a family that I love dearly and friends and community, I'm wondering if they're willing to do this to the Capitol building, what else are they willing to do? Because the bottom line is they're not going to get their way. It's over. The illusion is over with. It's done. So does things get better? Do they sing Kumbaya and say, all right, it's over, guys, like it's a game? Or do they keep planning more things? I'm thinking it's B, planning more things. So what are they doing next? The Democrats just won the House and the Senate. What's going to happen then? Are they going to feel like they could just roll up and destroy the White House or the Capitol building? What's going on? Our government leaders need to step it up. They need to buckle down and really figure this thing out before our whole country becomes more depreciated. We also learn to understand and calculate, obviously, that Donald Trump is the leader. Officially, unofficially, these people thrive off of what he says. And when you're saying things in the presidential debate like stand down and stand by, what's the stand by part about? This is unconstitutional. This country was supposed to stand for righteousness, not chaotic freedom. Not press the law down so hard until we surrender. And sometimes surrendering don't even matter nowadays. You could just seem like you don't obey the law and just die. Just like that nowadays. How is that righteous? We're supposed to be one nation under God. Under God. Indivisible means not dividable. With liberty and justice for all men. Our country is not reflecting that at all. And I pray and will be doing work to help this country be better. And I'm going to start with my neighbor. And then I'm going to start with another neighbor. Then I'm going to do another neighbor. Then I'm going to love another neighbor. And then I'm going to love another neighbor. And then when the neighbor that I previously dealt with doesn't feel loved, I'm going to love that. I'm going to go back and love that neighbor. That's the work that needs to be done in this country. So another thing is that I can't help to think that if things keep going this way, we're headed towards a civil war too. And it will be a war between righteousness and law. Righteousness and law are doing this. And I'm afraid a war may happen. But if God wills a war to happen, then let it be done. But I tell you one thing, the Bible tells us that righteousness will prevail. And it tells us to endure all of these trials and tribulations. Jesus said that they persecuted me, the top righteous one. So when you even try to be like me or try to be righteous, they will persecute you. And you will do greater things than I did, because your persecution is going to be worse than what my persecution was. And God's hope and righteousness prevailing lives through that. And we need to live it out. So man, the government is in shambles right now. We have to start this thing from the ground up. All of these, the harvest is here and the crops are crappy. America is producing horrible, malnutritioned crops that were fed for money and sold us that dream, and a lot of us chased it. It's time to stop chasing that dream. It's time to start trying to dream about what God would want to see his men, his people live on earth in 2021. I promise you, it's not chasing accolades. America produced a crappy crop. It looks good, but when you eat it, it has very little taste, and the nutrition is very little to none. Leaves you hungry and wanting to eat again. We have to start just opening that Bible, and you'll start to understand what's going on. You'll start to understand that it's a war between righteousness and the law. And a lot of things, a lot of Christians will start to see too. Things come full circle in their understanding. God wants righteousness in 2021.